Thank you very much for the introduction. So, as Davide already said, my name is Christian and I'm CEO and co-founder of Insightness. Now, I'm already excusing for, we don't have too much technical details in our slides, but I hopefully still can tell you some interesting stories. I would start off with the question of who is Insightness? Well, why do I start off with this? Because in the recent past, I multiple times got asked, what? You're also doing event-based stuff, are you new? And I want to convince you that we're not new. I mean, we know this technology very deep, and I think it's one of the strengths of Insightness. So if you just look at the people that work at Insightness, I'm very proud to say that all people that work at Insightness have an experience, they have a background in event-based vision, either on the hardware side or on the software side. And if I would have to find a team that works on these sorts of problems that we're solving, I would more or less end up with the same hats. And I mean, now that more and more players get into the field of event-based vision sensors, you always have to make sure that you have a unique and great team. And just to quickly show you that I'm convinced that we have this, let's have a quick look at the history of Insightness. Where are we coming from? And that was a bit too quick. So Toby's one of our co-founders. And you see, therefore, we have been there when the whole field got created. Now, against some of the stories that are told otherwise, the DVS was actually the first event-based vision sensor that worked. There have been other silicon retina before us, and some of our competitors are telling these stories, but what is extremely crucial to understand is the work of Toby just enabled this field because before the sensors, they were not working properly. Now, another of our co-founders was also involved very early on, and he built the first kind of bridge between USB and event-based, and that's still used in today's devices. So this is how far back our history of Insightness dates back. And even though, I mean, today other companies talk a bit about autonomous driving, already in my bachelor thesis, I did some autonomous driving with events. I mean, of course, it's super crude. But we gathered over these years in academia on our PhDs and master thesis, we gathered a lot of experience, not only in chip design, for instance, with color designs, or for instance, with applications such as structured lighting, but the more we started understanding of the technology on the hardware as well as on the software side, we realized there's a gap. Right now, we have these great sensors, but they're not yet in commercial applications. And so what we decided is, let's build a company. And this already happened in 2014. And in contrast to some of our competitors, we didn't go out and started pitching a vision because we first wanted to make sure that we actually know what we were doing. And so what we did is we took a license. So we're right now the only source on Earth where you can buy event-based vision sensors, DVS event-based vision sensors in volume for drones, AR, or VR. And this is crucial because so far our competitors have not shown that the ATIS nor the CellX do not infringe with the patent. So we did this very early on. Then we got a further experience, and some of the algorithms that we have developed in our team, or people from our team have developed, you might also find at some other places. And actually, this is also some work, unpublished work here. As a first idea, we did some key point tracking. It was actually, never published, but this is definitely the cheapest key point tracking you can ever get. It was based on binary masks. But that's kind of where we did first trials. And so what is important to us is that now for the first time we allow anybody more or less to buy an event-based vision sensor system. So something that is not just a sensor or not hardware, but something that integrates this. Now, why is this important? Why are event-based vision sensor systems so important? This was one of the key learnings that we gathered over these almost 10 years of experience, and let me show you why. Because this talk is called From Event-Based Visions, and these we have plenty. When we talk about the technology, people immediately get intrigued by, wow, in-pixel data compression, really great characteristics. We could use this for X, Y, Z, for all sorts of applications. And when you want to build a startup, it's extremely crucial to understand what are these applications and how you get there. So for us, we had to tackle the following problems. We have today a great vision sensor technology, and we want to go to market. So the big question is, how do we go to market? And that might be a super trivial question to a lot of you, but for a startup it's vital. It's called finding your business model. And we decided that what is actually needed, and the reason why these sensors are not yet in products, are systems. And why is that? Let me share this insight, and I would say like the only take-home message you get from the startup kind of pitch. Systems are crucial because the vision sensors themselves do not have a USP. You find, and unique USPs, startup terms, unique selling proposition. Something where the sensor itself excels against any other sensing modality. So you can find sensors that have higher dynamic range. You can find sensors that burn less power. And you can find sensors that have higher temporal resolution. So what you don't find is a sensor technology that combines all of this. And what this means is that the only unique selling proposition of this technology is efficiency. Because, let me explain this maybe with an example. If you take a high-speed camera and a stack of GPUs, and you take all of the compute power that you can find, you can come up with something very similar than the DBS if you just subtract the images that you get. And so, then why is system so crucial? What is important about systems? Efficiency is not measured on a sensor level. You can have super low-power sensors, but if your algorithms, software, and hardware, processing hardware, do not kind of keep up this efficiency, it's worthless. I mean, same for latency. If you have a super low latency sensor, but any of the other components within the system does not have an equal latency, your whole USP will be gone. And this is extremely crucial. So what we realized is what we have to do is we have to build systems as quick as possible, get them into the hands of customers, and understand what they value and what they don't value, what they want and where we can sell. And so this is what we did. We created, it's maybe rudimentary, but what we created is an actual real system, so something that integrates not only sensing, but also processing and hardware. And what this is it's a collision avoidance system. Now, as I said, it has to be unique, so you have to beat state of the art. What did we take as state of the art? We took a DJI Phantom 4. DJI Phantom 4 flying down a road, and it flies autonomously. And what is important to understand here is it has a collision avoidance system on board. You're going to see it later on in the slow-mo. Now, with our system, what we have developed is a way to detect motion in the field of view. And so we can avoid the collision, whereas the Phantom 4, there you see it, tilted far too late. Now, I'm not saying that this is the absolute killer application in drones, nor am I saying that our algorithms are the most advanced or anything is optimized. What is extremely important when you have this sort of technology is that you iterate fast and you have to find out what are the actual value propositions that your customers want. So, what we have today is such an evaluation kit, and as I said, it's a system. It's an Odroid, it has compiled binaries, so if you buy the evaluation kit, you get not events, I mean on top of the events, you can also get events if you want, but on top of this you get further information. And it is all based on our own kind of camera. I'm just showing this because I'm super proud of it. It's one of the smaller cameras, I really like it. And one of the really cool features is that we're preparing ourselves also for deployment in volume. So we not only have a USB 2 connection, which is the standard so far, we also have put in a MIPI, such that we can start integrating it closer to processors. Because as I said, system level performance is crucial to us, and interfaces are one of the key components there. Now, when you look at the output, the evaluation kit gives you all of the raw data. You can get the Blue Fox frames, you can get the data from the Davis frames, the events, so all of these things that you can also get otherwise. But what we deliver on top of this is you can also get visual flow, and you can get a depth map. You can get a motion map, and the motion map is an indication of whether it is likely or not that this thing that you're observing is moving, or whether it's yourself moving. So it is a startup pitch. Go and buy this. There are also other ways of kind of interacting with us. On one hand, we're hiring. We're a successful startup so far. That means we still have money, and we have sufficient money to hire more people. And so, yeah, if this sounds interesting, if you like our approach towards using this technology, then just ping me. You find the email address, I have cards. Like the evaluation kit, already in the previous slide said, go and watch our YouTube video, share it. I'm very happy if it gets another kind of a kick. And we're extremely happy to see all of the developments that are happening in the field of computer vision, in the field of robotics, because when we build systems, we don't want to take our own algorithms just because of pride. We just take whatever is available and that we can integrate, because what we want to do is we want to build the best systems possible and give them to the customers. So if you build better algorithms than us, we're happy. We're happy to license, we're happy to share revenues, because we care about bringing this technology to markets. And then, if you're already kind of talking to us and you know like some cool big companies that are interested in this technology, yeah, forward them. And if you have a super rich uncle, also forward it. So thank you very much, and check out the demo.